Time All-Star starting and batting second for the Angels on this afternoon's Angels Cardinale Way starting lineup. Rengifo, Ohtani, and Moniak off the top. Taylor Ward, Mike Moustakas, and Hunter Renfroe bat 4 through 6. Trey Cabbage will make his first appearance of the series starting at first base. Chad Wallach and Andrew Velasquez round things off against the former Angel, Anaheim native, 31-year-old veteran Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah, very popular with his teammates when he was with the Angels last season. Having a solid all-star season for the Tigers here this season. My go-tos, though, to have success against their former teammates is you got to be in position to power that mistake sweeper. He's given up 3 home runs versus sweeper, and success versus his sinker. Four-seam fastball a lot more effective than his sinker. Batters have had some good success against that sinker this season. And the defense behind Michael Lorenzen. He got Badu out in left field, but Riley Green has been outstanding. We've seen him make some incredible plays out in center field. Verling in right, McKinstry, Baez short, Torkelson, and then you got Haas behind the plate catching the pitches for Michael Lorenzen.
First pitch swing from Luis Rengifo, and a ball that's kicked at second base by Zach Short. That's how the game opens this afternoon, with an error charged to the Tigers' second baseman.
Well, we talked about the defense. That was a good omen for the Angels right there. And Lorenzen's a guy that's going to keep the ball on the ground quite a bit. He's got a ground ball rate of a little over 43%. Now Shohei at the plate now to try to help himself out, which he does often when he pitches.
Routine chance that Short has a hard time finding the handle on, so Rengifo's aboard for Ohtani now. Shohei hitless on Tuesday in the opener here in this series. 0 for 3 with a couple of walks. 36 homers, 77 runs batted in, leading the world in power this year. And his next offering facing Lorenzen, misses down low, 2 balls and no strikes. Interesting that Lorenzen starts Shohei with a couple secondary pitches. You're talking about a guy in Michael Lorenzen with the best first pitch strike rate among qualified starters. So the Angels, for the most part, will be aggressive at the plate, aware of that today.
Yeah, he's around the strike zone. He's going to throw a lot of changeups to all the lefties here today in the lineup for the Angels.
Well, there's a strike to make it 2-1 to Shohei.
You'll hear that grunt quite often from Michael Lorenzen.
Next offering is fouled away, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And our Hyundai key for the game today, may she rest in peace, we're going to Sinead O'Connor. Nothing compares to you, and no one compares to Shohei Ohtani, and the effort here now and the energy here for the Angels after the moves overnight, and then Shohei on the mound and swinging the bat here today.
Mickey Moniak waits on deck. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ohtani. A full count from Lorenzen now as he misses with a changeup. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lorenzen's last start Thursday in Kansas City was one of his best as a Tiger. 7 shutout, 3-hit innings en route to a 3-0 win. His 5th victory of the year coming in his last outing. Rengifo stays on the 3-2 to Shohei. Is fouled away. That game by Lorenzen on Thursday did nothing but add to the speculation that his name is being kicked about in trade discussions. It would make sense. A guy that could certainly help a playoff contender down the stretch. I'm not sure if the Tigers define themselves as that at this point.
Just helped out in the division so far.
And a called strike 3 taken by Ohtani.
Borderline fastball after a number of changeups in that sequence by Lorenzen against Ohtani.
Wow. Borderline's an interesting way to put that. I commend your diplomacy, sir. Ball was off the plate. How about that? Here's Mickey Moniak now, trying to pick up his 15-game hitting streak today. Not only a personal best, but the longest active hitting streak in Major League Baseball. Limited schedule around the league today, by the way. Just 5 games on the docket, and the Angels and Tigers are playing 2 of those today. And Moniak out in front, 1-1. Not only a personal best for Mickey, but one of the longest in the last decade in franchise history.
Always Ohtani gets on all those lists, doesn't he?
A ball and 2 strikes on Moniak.
Moniak has a lot of power generally in the first inning too, in those late close situations too as the game progresses, but he's got some power in the first. He's going to have to probably deal with some change-ups against Lorenzen here today. Tough pitch for him to drive out of the ballpark consistently, but he's made better contact against it this year.
Got some numbers to quantify that in a moment. Here's the 1-2 to Mickey, fouled away. Yeah, Moniak had the game-winning hit in extra innings on Tuesday night. One of 2 hits for him to extend that hitting streak. And you talk about what he's done against the changeup, given he's going to see a lot of them. What an improvement he's made 1 year to next from how he handled changeups in 2022 as Philly property, partial Angel property. There's a ball in the dirt that's going to advance Rengifo to second.
Good read there by Rengifo. He saw that ball in the dirt, got in the scoring position for a guy who's been very, very effective with runners in scoring position, to Mickey Moniak. Just the 4th wild pitch this season for Lorenzen.
Eric Haas doing the catching duties in game 1 of the doubleheader. We'll see Jake Rogers in the nightcap later on this afternoon. So a chance for Moniak to deliver a run with Rengifo at second and 1 gone. 2-2 to Mickey. Back-to-back full counts now. Those numbers I talk about regarding Moniak and changeups, because he is going to see some today against Lorenzen. Last year hit 192 against the change. This year a 387 batting average against changeups with a much lower whiff percentage. He's been great. There's one that's fouled away.
And there's a pretty good changeup. Lorenzen has a very, very good changeup. This is a 169 batting average with 18 strikeouts and a whiff percentage of 32% versus his changeup.
One of the reasons that Lorenzen gets a lot of ground balls this year, a lot of double plays behind him, and Moniak with a swing and a miss, back-to-back strikeouts for Lorenzen in the first.
And Michael Lorenzen, let's take a look at his pitch repertoire. Let's take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. What he threw last season is compared to what he's thrown this season. He threw a sinker a lot more last year. Four-seamer, he's a lot more effective with his four-seamer than his sinker. Change-up percentage has got down a little bit this season too, because he's using that four-seamer a little bit more.
Yeah, everything else kind of down for him this year as Taylor Ward digs in now, trying to pick up that run with 2 out. Not throwing the curveball as much, not throwing the cutter as much.
Interesting splits though for Lorenzen too. Right-handed batters, 272. Lefties, because of that changeup, but this 198. Although more power for left-handed batters with 7 home runs compared to 4 for right-handed batters. All you're looking for now is a base hit here.
See if he uses his changeup right versus right here, because Taylor Ward, yes, is the answer to that, because that was an awfully good one. Taylor Ward hits the changeup as well as any Angel, something we talked about on Tuesday, thinking it might play into the calculus against Eduardo Rodriguez. And as it turns out, Taylor's only hit came in his final plate appearance of the night against the Tiger bullpen. 2-2 to him now.
Already 20 pitches thrown in this first inning on a warm, muggy afternoon for Lorenzen. Always wears those sleeves.
Patrick Sandoval in the nightcap against Matt Manning. And a wave and a miss by Ward. Despite that leadoff runner reaching base, 3 strikeouts for Lorenzen keeps the Angels quiet in the first. It's a night in which he struck out 9, walked only 1. It was his 8th winner of the year. Ohtani's had mixed results on this mound. He opens the doubleheader in Detroit here today. We get you right to A.J. Hinch's Tigers starting lineup this afternoon. A very similar look as to what was offered on Tuesday in the opener. McKinstry, Green, and Torkelson. Carpenter, Vierling, and Baez. Baddoo, Short. Eric Haas, the lone exception. A new starter in the series. He sat and had a pinch hitting appearance on Tuesday. Shohei's underway today with a first pitch strike to Zach McKinstry.
Well, that first pitch being 95 and a fastball against Tiger batters.
McKinstry 1 for 5 with 4 strikeouts Tuesday in the opener in this series. And Shohei's pitch, a jam shot ground ball chance for Mike Moustakas. A room service opportunity, 1 gone.
And the defense behind Shohei Ohtani, who has been getting a lot more ground balls You got Renfroe out in right field, Moniak and Ward. In the infield, you got Rengifo at second base. Moustakas made that play. Andrew Velasquez at shortstop. Trey Cavage at first. Chad Wallach behind the plate today for Shohei Ohtani. It had a little over 45% ground ball rate for Shohei this season.
Here is the red-hot Riley Green coming off back-to-back 3-hit games and trying to give the Tigers a 1-0 lead in his first opportunity today.
You see a lot of batters against Shohei first pitch. They figure they don't want to deal with those secondary pitches, so they're up there swinging at the first pitch.
Green at .315, 7 homers, 23 driven in. His availability has meant a whole lot better results for the Tigers. He was dinged up in June, healthy in July, and the Tigers have played much better baseball as a result of having him in there every night. A strike to make it 1-2.
So 5 pitches thrown by Shohei so far today. 4 of them have been fastballs.
Well, staying right on brand with what we talked about, the Tigers have really struggled to hit velocity this year as a team. And the 1-2 home from Ohtani comes at him with another fastball swung on and missed for out number 2.
You think Shohei was watching our pregame show in our pregame hit?
He didn't need to watch our pregame hit.
No. 97 miles an hour. Yeah, you just rear back and let that one go. What a good spot, too. As a left-handed batter, so difficult to bring your hands up and make contact. Down and in, you have a shot. Up and in, no chance. Spencer
Torkelson now. A former first overall draft pick, 1 for 5 on Tuesday. Hit that 2-out, 2-run 9th inning double that made the Angels' life a little difficult on Tuesday night. Torkelson's had much better success away from Comerica Park than at home this year as he backs off a fastball, the ball in 2 strikes.
7 of 8 pitches, fastballs. 95 to 97 so far for Shohei.
One of a number of Tigers in A.J. Hinch's lineup today that's never faced Ohtani. There's a slider that's crushed out to left field. Ward back on it, and he makes the catch up against the wall.
I love Shohei's reaction. He's like, what? What? Oh, he got it.
Hey, you're out. That's all that matters.
I'll go back to fastballs.
We got a guy out there.
Day in the clubhouse after the news of the trade acquisitions late last night. Now, the first shoe to drop, of course, was the report that Shohei Ohtani was staying put. Mike Trout was watching all of that unfold in his hotel room last night, knowing that Shohei wasn't going anywhere. But he, among the group, had one of the biggest smiles this morning in the clubhouse with the news of the trade acquisition. He said he's been saying since the beginning of the year the front office wants to win. And when you see Perry working some magic over there and you know Artie is in agreement, it's a good message for the guys. He said the message has been the same all year. We're in it until we're not, and we're going to keep pushing forward as you see the 2 guys acquired from the White Sox, Lucas Giolito and Reynaldo Lopez. Guys.
Yeah, boy, Erica, as we know, it just makes such a big difference in the room when players know they're being supported like that from up top. And yes, the smile was noticeable man-to-man in the clubhouse today. Let me ask you before we let you go there, Erica, what's the latest, if anything, on Mike's hand?
He actually had a big step forward yesterday before the rain came in, picked up a bat, a fungo bat, but he did hold a bat. He said it was progression, but it's something. He just said he's really anxious to get back, especially with all of this news happening. I want to be out there with my teammates, but I got to make sure it's fully healed and see how it goes. It's just a pain tolerance thing from at this point. He did get sent a glove with a pad in it to test out. Just holding the fungo bat, though, yesterday. A big step moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. Cautious optimism with Mike moving forward. Erica, thanks. Mike Moustakas leading things off in the Halos half of the second. Moustakas, Renfroe, and Cabbage against Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah, 2 for 5 in his career for Moustakas. But even going back to Trout, I mean, he says right away, as soon as he could swing the bat, he's going to be ready to go. He feels the energy level. And even from years of playing, when you make a deal like this, boy, the energy level in the clubhouse is amazing. You all of a sudden, like, everyone is in, everyone's got the same focus, and that's winning every game and get to the postseason.
You know, and the other end of it is, and you've been around clubs that have experienced this too, as I have, when there is no deal made for a team in contention, the air comes out of the balloon a little bit.
Yeah, you wonder, like, are we on the same page as the people up in the front office? Perry Manassi is definitely all in.
Another full count from Lorenzen, and Moustakas lines a pitch the other way into left center for a base hit.
What a real good at bat. It stayed on those pitches, went on a pitch away, didn't try to pull, lines in left center. Now 3 for 6 against Lorenzen now from Moustakas.
And 3 for 6 in this series against the Tigers. So leadoff hitter has reached base in each inning thus far. And a chance for Hunter Renfroe, who was hitless on Tuesday with a base on balls.
This is the guy you really, really have to get going hot like he was at the beginning of the season.
What did Perry Manassian tell us before the game? He feels like there's a hot run for Renfroe right around the corner. The same kind of run that he went on to open the season, to your point, Gooby, in April and May. Left-handed batter Trey Cabbage waiting on deck. Leadoff hitter aboard to start the second. And that one's yanked into the corner. Baddoo goes to chase it down. Moustakas on his way into third. Renfroe to second, and here we go. Second and third with nobody out to open the inning.
Maybe that is that start for Hunter Renfroe. That ball was rocketed down in the left field corner. 23rd double of the season. Little slider or sweeper stays upstairs, and he jumps on. Like we mentioned about that sweeper for Lorenzen, he gets some swing and misses, but when it stays upstairs, it's been hit pretty good.
So now Trey Cabbage. The corners will come in closer defensively for Detroit as Trey swings and misses at the first pitch.
Again, now as a young hitter, you got to think, okay, that's a swing right there. You want to drive it, but as a bat progresses, you got to think of the worst case scenario. You get a ground ball to second base. They're playing back. That'll get a run home.
And quickly, Lorenzen on top, 0-2.
So now with 2 strikes, your approach changes. There, you're trying to lift and drive. Now you're trying to make some contact. If you get that, especially the second base is short, you should be able to get Moustakas home.
Cabbage sends a ball deep into the left field corner. Baddoo is out there running out of room. He makes the catch in front of the fence. Tagging up is Moustakas. Tagging up is Renfroe, and Trey Cabbage just missed a 3-run homer. Angels will settle for the sac fly. They're on the board first this afternoon in Motown.
What a swing there, especially with 2 strikes. Now this baseball just kept drifting and drifting and drifting. And Baddoo, that's an unbelievable play up against the wall like that. He wasn't anticipating that carry on the baseball, but a warm afternoon, a little bit of a breeze. Baseball will carry. That's a solid at bat for Cabbage getting the job done.
And now the infield will come in as a unit for Chad Wallach. He grounds it to Baez, who throws home, and no chance for Renfroe. He's out at the plate.
Yeah, you're going on contact on that one. Baez with that strong arm knew he had some time to make the play and make the throw.
Runner at first on the fielder's choice. A run in with 2 gone now for the number 9 hitter Andrew Velasquez. Hunter was out by plenty, and I think all the participants knew it.
Got it.
First offering to Velasquez is swung on and missed. Andrew had 3 hits in the opener here Tuesday night. Some very positive things for the Angels to start this afternoon. First of all, the run delivered by the Cabbage sac fly, the first run against Michael Lorenzen in over 22 innings.
He has been dealing.
The Angels have put their leadoff hitter in each of the first 2 innings today. And that ends a stretch where Lorenzen had retired the leadoff hitter in each of his last 13 innings. It was one of the longest such stretches active in the sport.
And that's why as starting pitchers, you play those games in the dugout. I mean, that's your whole goal, is to get that leadoff runner out every single time. Because then after they get on base, you can still ground ball double play. There's ways to get out of an inning. But when you have that leadoff runner on, generally some bad things can happen.
Ball and 2 strikes to count to Andrew Velasquez. Wallach the runner at first, 1-0 Angels. And a swing and a missile end the threat. However, the Halos get on the board first. A run on a couple of hits, a runner left on. 1-0 Angels.
Runs it down. Take away an extra base hit away from Torkelson.
Kerry Carpenter leads things off in the Tigers' half of the second. So I'll ask you this. Do we see less of the sweeper, or does it get tightened up? What do you think?
I think he'll still throw it in there because he feels with this lineup for the Tigers, they're thinking he's going to throw a lot of fastballs, and he has so far, quite a few of them. But once he gets to those 2 strikes, he just has to at least show an occasional seamer, but start it on the corners, have it go off the plate, because then they can start looking for that. Then you can get him and freeze him with fastballs.
Carpenter 0 for 4 here Tuesday in the opener. 2 balls and a strike from Ohtani. You know, we talked about Shohei's last assignment here, and you and I were here about a year ago. It was mid-August when he made an afternoon start here at Comerica Park and never looked comfortable. Ended up lasting only 4 innings, but needed 85 pitches to get there. Walked 4 that day. And I remember the circumstance. It was a humid, kind of borderline rainy day. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On a hop for Cabbage, will lead Ohtani at the bag for out number 1.
It's a nice feed by Cabbage over to Shohei Ohtani to go lead him.
Oh no! Oh, the ball came out. Ohtani and Carpenter made contact with one another, and Shohei grabbed his elbow initially. And you hope he's okay. Looked like he just told Luis Rengifo he's all right. What happened?
As he went by the base, you see him right there. Carpenter runs into him. And a lot of times you get that spot right there. It's almost the funny bone. You get that area in your elbow.
Angels training staff out to talk to Shohei. It looks like he's trying to wave him back and explain exactly what happened.
And obviously that was not on purpose by Carpenter. He's just running as hard as he can down the line. It was a good feed by Cabbage.
No, there's nothing funny about the funny bone, by the way.
No. And it's not humorous either.
Thank you. And it looks like Shohei's okay to continue. He'll go to work on Matt Vierling now with 1 gone. Tigers right fielder had a couple of hits on Tuesday.
He's got to be up there thinking he's got to swing at the first pitch here, you would think. Too far off the plate against him, though. Especially when you have a little collision like that, you feel that, okay, this might be the pitch. It might be missed in zone.
4 in a row retired by Ohtani to start the afternoon. There's a strike on the corner with a fastball. And it looks like Derek Thomas, a first-year umpire who is calling balls and strikes for only the 8th time in his big league umpiring career, is going to be a little friendlier side to side. We've seen more generous corners already this afternoon for both starters.
Yeah. And as an umpire, you got to be, in a position. You're pretty thrilled about this pitching matchup. Lorenzen going against Shohei Ohtani.
Jam shot pop up on a breaking ball. Rengifo calling for it for out number 2.
And my go-to is for Shohei Ohtani to have a dominant game, and a very, very important game for Shohei and the Angels is move that 4-seamer around the zone. Been very, very effective, and keep the cutter on the handle of the bats. That's one pitch where Shohei has had some troubles with it, his cutter, leaving it over the plate too often, but so far so good with that 4-seamer.
Here's the shortstop, Javi Baez, now 1 for 5 with an RBI on Tuesday night.
So far so good. It's a good life on his 4-seamer. That a 98-mile-an-hour 4-seamer, even though off the plate. That was a good sweeper. That was a good one.
That appeared to giggle at Baez as it went past his swinging bat. We talk about Baez and his swing and miss problems. Super aggressive hitter. That one's fouled away. Ball and 2 strikes.
Now that one backed up on him. The pitch before, he stayed on top of the baseball. That last one, he got around the baseball. It means underneath with your fingers, and that flattens it out over the plate, and that backed up on him. Unfortunately, it was a foul ball.
1-2 pitch. He struck him out. 6 in a row retired by Ohtani to start the afternoon. friendly, a more hitter friendly outfield dimension. Boy, when this place opened, it was enormous. And it's become a little bit more reasonable of a proposition to hit a homer here since those early days. We welcome you back in a 1-0 Angels lead. Luis Rengifo leads things off.
Hitters complaining. What's up with that?
You would have loved pitching here,
Yes.
huh? In 2000, 2001, 2, before they brought that left field fence most notably in. See where that orange wall is out there by the bullpen? That used to be the old homer. And it might not seem like a big deal, but it was higher and it was about 20 feet deeper. That's just a huge, huge left field without the change. 2 balls and a strike to count to Rengifo, and 2-2 now. Louis had a couple of hits and an RBI on Tuesday.
Continue that hot stretch in July. Wasn't real comfortable in that swing.
Yeah, he dropped the bat on his finish, and I couldn't tell if that was just an awkward pass or if in fact the ball might have made contact with him somewhere. If that was the case, he'd be on base. We'll soldier on, 2-2, and Rengifo sends that one out to left field for Baddoo. And that's the first out here in the third. Well, he is the slam dunk AL MVP. What about other accolades for Shohei Ohtani? He is in contention for a hitting triple crown. First in homers, second in runs batted in, and number 6 for a batting title. Not out of the question. First pitch to Ohtani. High fly ball out to center field. It froze Riley Green. He's able to find it and make the play for out number 2.
Tell you what, Shohei just missed that one. He's crushed fastballs all season long. He got a 4-seam fastball and he just missed it. Coming into this series, a slugging percent or OPS of 1178 versus fastballs, and he just missed that one.
Well, Ohtani's the only qualified player in the sport with an OPS over 1,000. As with 2 out now, Mickey Moniak digs back in. 0-1 the count to Moniak. I don't know, an AL batting title, again, you know, 6th in that race. The fact that he pitches every 6 days down the stretch, you know, you wonder if he can maintain a 300-ish batting average, but with Shohei Ohtani, nothing is out of the question. On the appeal, no swing by Moniak, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
To me, it's almost like a catcher winning a batting title, too, because you use your legs so much as a starting pitcher. He uses his legs so much every 6th day. It's not easy to always have that lower half, be able to drive the baseball as a batter.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Lorenzen trying for a 1-2-3 frame here in the third, and he'll get there. His first 1-2-3 inning of the afternoon. End of 2.5 to 1-0 Angels.
Gets the punch out off the edges of the plate.
Couple of strikeouts for Ohtani, who is perfect first 2 innings so far today. Goes to work on the 7, 8, 9 part of the Tigers card here in the third. Baddoo, Short, and Haas. Akil Baddoo 1 for 4 on Tuesday in the opener. And that one's line foul to put him behind 0-2.
So he went a sweeper at 83 to a 4-seam fastball late at 98. Pretty good separation, the speed of 2 pitches, both on the outer part of the plate.
Oh, 2 pitch. Breaking ball kind of squirted out of Shohei's hand that time.
Yeah, first curveball he has thrown so far. I do like that pitch for Shohei against these left-handed batters.
Playing Baddoo straight away. The 1-2 pitch is fouled off again.
No ill effects from that collision at first base now. 99 on a 4-seamer.
firmest velocity yet from Ohtani. The Nina radar reading. And Baddoo doing a pretty good job to hang with the tough breaking ball that time.
Just fouled off a sweeper.
You know, the issue of body clock for Ohtani is an interesting one. He's only made one start not on West Coast time during the daytime this year, and that was early in the season back in mid-April at Boston. And recall that was an afternoon where he won only 2 innings because of rain. The next 1-2 try to Baddoo got him.
First time he has got him out. Baddoo was 3 for 3 against Shohei. Gets him on a punch out at 99-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs. Yeah, but his numbers as a hitter in the day games are outstanding, though. I love that spot up there. He threw a curveball earlier in the sequence. Even though it was off the plate, it starts in that same plane, and then he runs a four-seamer upstairs. By him.
One gone for Zach Short. Tiger second baseman had 2 at-bats on Tuesday before being pinch hit for by Nick Maton. And the first pitch to him is fouled away. Tigers home OPS under 700. That is next to last in all of baseball. A ball and a strike. And who'd have thought for a Tigers team with those kind of home offensive rankings that they'd come up with 6 runs on Tuesday as they did. Popped him up. Moniak and Ward. Mickey Moniak makes the catch for out number 2. That's 8 up, 8 down for Ohtani this afternoon.
And Shohei Ohtani, that we talk about the separation of speeds of his pitches. Take a look at our StatCast video powered by Google Cloud. Between his four-seam fastball and his sinker, average fastball velocity in the four-seam just under 97. A cutter at 89. Same thing with the splitter. Sweeper about 84, but his curveball pitch, I think he might throw a few more times here today in the mid-70s.
There's a catcher, Eric Haas, who's backed up with a fastball that misses inside. Haas was the final out of the night on Tuesday. A.J. Hinch kind of running out of bench options and wanted a right-handed bat against Aaron Loup. And that's where the night ended with a 7-6 Angels win. Haas be now 1-1 to count after that foul ball.
And that fastball up and in at 96. Seeing that four-seamer being used at nearly 69% of the time. Sweeper 25, curveball 3, splitter at 3%. It's like we talked about, and we talked about a lot, man. That's team, against fastballs, you got to go with it, especially when you throw that hard.
And sometimes I guess, you don't have to get too cute and outthink the opponent. Yep. If it's a team that doesn't hit the fastball, I think some may be tempted into trying to play that guessing game, knowing that the opponent is going to expect heaters.
Yep. And
give you something else. But Shohei's come right at the Tigers here this afternoon. In front of Haas, 1-2. Soate Kudasai got him.
Paints a fastball again.
Sit down, please. Perfect through 3 in Detroit.
Hard to play. And so far in this game, Chad Wallach has done a real good job of framing pitches, maybe stealing a strike here and there.
First pitch to Taylor Ward, a bouncer for Zach McKinstry, and they get Taylor by a half a step. I love the fact that that not only that happened, but that we picked that up and used that as a replay. Some of those little shenanigans that a catcher can play.
Yeah.
You make noise in the dirt on one side of the plate. You move over to the other side. You're tapping the dirt to indicate breaking ball down there, and you get him with a heater. That's fun stuff to take stock of.
Especially if you're looking at his numbers coming in the game. If you're a Tiger hitter against Shohei, he throws a huge percentage of breaking balls or secondary pitches with 2 strikes. So if you hear him tapping the ground, he's thinking, okay, he's going to try to throw that either splitter or sweeper down, and they threw a fastball painted the outside corner. Not right to do that against a fellow catcher, but that's the game.
Hang with him.
Yeah.
Here's Mike Moustakas now. His first inning single would come around to score the only run of the game. Mike's hit safely now in 10 of his last 11. And there's a bouncer foul. That's how a guy who's hitting under 200, who is going through some offensive struggles. That's how he remains a valuable part of the roster. And nobody is ever going to outwork Chad Wallach. And, you know, how do you make yourself valuable in light of some offensive difficulties? You run a game as well as he does. You add a lot of defensive upside. Chad's been a big part of the Angels' success.
And the key is always just to clear that at bat away and just go right back to defense mode. He's been great already in this game. He's been really working well this entire season with Shohei Ohtani.
Pitch to Moustakas, misses. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scooby, you and I have taken stock of this the past couple days. Look at Javi Baez, man. He is as close to being on the first base side of second as you can without breaking the rules.
When he moves a little bit even as the pitch is being thrown, you can do that. You got to make sure you are on that shortstop side of the bag. But he is as close as can be.
And moving a little closer
He's
still.
Getting there too.
Another full count pitch to Moustakas, and another base hit for the Moose. That one might give him 2 bases. Instead, he's going to stop throwing on the brakes around first. Know thyself.
Yep, and Green is really good out there in the outfield. We highlight him on the defense. He covers a lot of ground. He not only got to that baseball, he was in good throwing position.
But let me tell you, those are 2 great plate appearances by Mike Moustakas. Gets to a full count, and then nothing fancy, an opposite field single in each of his at-bats.
And at some point, he's going to draw Lorenzen in, and that's the ball he can hit out of the ballpark.
Here's Hunter Renfroe now. Had a big double in the first.
Yeah, when you're a pitcher, you see a hitter able to stay back on you and go the other way, well, then you're thinking, okay, I got to keep him honest with something in. And that's the ball that he can hit out to right field.
Five strikeouts for Michael Lorenzen so far this afternoon. There has not been a walk issued on either side of the scorecard yet. Renfroe fouls that one off, and it's 1-2.
Coming in this game, not a big strikeout season for Lorenzen. With 76 strikeouts and a little over 100 innings pitched. One of the few sinkers he has thrown today. That's a pitch that's been hit a little bit.
Now, you like the Angels' opportunity here, given you've got 2 line drive fly ball hitters at the plate. Lorenzen's done a very good job inducing ground balls for double plays this year.
Yeah, both pitchers really, really good.
I always like looking at it in terms of a percentage instead of the raw numbers. So you hear 13 double plays behind him, and you don't really have any context. But 13 double plays in 82 opportunities. So that equals 16%. And the league average is just over 10%. But again, 2 fly ball hitters for the Angels here in Renfroe and Cabbage.
And the bottom line is when you see that, that's where you're more apt to put runners in motion. That way you avoid those double play scenarios and have the infielders moving around. He's not normally, although today he hasn't struck out a lot of batters this season, so you would think you would have an opportunity. He's only given up 1 stolen base this year, so you're better having a movement on a hit and run.
Renfroe sends that one into the other corner, turning into a big opener for Hunter Renfroe on his way into second with his 2nd double of the afternoon.
What did Perry say before the game with us today?
He smelled a hot streak.
Yes, so far so good.
It's an in and out afternoon for Hunter Renfroe, a double-double already today.
Lorenzen's reaction to it, because it was above the belt and he just goes the other way, shortens up on it. Still that good power to right field, giving him now 24 doubles.
Infield will come in for Detroit. Trey Cabbage now, and a changeup misses low. Cabbage drove in that 2nd inning run with an opposite field sac fly ball that almost got out of here in the corner. And the same 2 aboard for him here. Moustakas and Renfroe only with 1 away. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
So he's thrown him a changeup and a slider so far. 1-1 counts. He's over 50%. We'll go one of those two pitches again.
Bounce through the drawn-in infield. It'll bring in Moustakas on his way in to score as Renfroe. 3-0 Angels. Trey Cabbage with all 3 Halo RBIs.
And he trained his eye to that slider down. He got a slider to the pitch before and goes right back up the middle. With the infield in, your chances of increasing of getting a base hit through the infield, and that's a big 2-run single for Cabbage. 3 stakes already today. Coming into the game, 3 RBI on the season for the Halos.
3 stakes for Trey. And here's Chad Wallach now.
He says, you know, enough of that vegetables and lettuce talk. Let's go steak.
Same part of the lineup. Moustakas, Renfroe, and Cabbage. 5, 6, 7 has been the lucky lotto ticket this afternoon. And it's a ball and a strike now to Chad Wallach.
And going back to what you said earlier, Matt, too, and when you think about it, Lorenzen had not given up a run, and this would be in his 4th start.
Three 3-0 Angels. 1-1 home to Wallach is swung on and missed. Cabbage on his way to second. Throw there is in time to get him.
Haas has thrown out 18% of base stealers, 27 in his career. Now with the hit and run, like we said, that's your best chance of having some go first to third or just go and have guys in motion would be a hit and run, and unable to make contact as Wallach.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Chad now.
Wallach does have a home run in his career against Lorenzen. It was 2 for 2 coming into the game, but Cabbage so far so good.
Three runs on 5 hits against a guy who has been among the stingiest in the sport the last few weeks.
Pitch count up there too. Bullpen arms stretching and moving around. It's 72 pitches already for Lorenzen.
You know, I feel like when you're throwing the ball as well as Michael Lorenzen was, and still is, the last thing you want on the schedule for you is a daytime start against a team that's really familiar with you.
Yeah.
It just changes the calculus. And it's gone the Angels' way so far today. There's a called strike 3 taken by Wallach. 2 more for the Halos in the 4th, however, on 2 more playing even bigger today against a Tigers team who struggled against the heater.
And so far so good as far as where he's been hitting his spots. We mentioned about hitting the corners with his 4-seam fastball. He's been using all 4 quadrants, both up and down, east and west, with his fastball today.
Let's see if that usage stays the same. 71% fastball first time through the order. Here's McKinstry leading things off in the bottom half of inning number 4. I'm going to guess that Shohei's going to incorporate the splitter a little bit more second and third time through, but that remains to be seen always with a guy as brilliant as Shohei Ohtani is. Nobody can really guess his usage patterns.
And I think that first pitch, by the way, was a splitter at like 93.
Take that.
Yes. I would have taken that with my 4-seam fastball.
McKinstry sends a ball out to left for Ward. 10 in a row retired by Ohtani to start the game.
That ball had a little carry to it also. Remember that first pitch Shohei threw the green, that first at bat, he was up there trying to do some damage. First pitch. And Shohei, of course, remembered that, so he tried to drop a curveball in.
Green struck out on the 4-seam fastball back in the 1st. Big swing and a miss here, 1-1.
He's a good player, Green.
Yeah, we talked about how important he is to the Tigers' success earlier. Landed on the IL after making a great catch, injuring his knee against the White Sox at the end of May. He was hitting .296 at the time. X-rays were negative, and then they gave him an MRI a few days later as he still wasn't feeling well, and they revealed a fractured left fibula. And a swing and a miss here for out number 2.
By the way, that was a nasty split from Shohei. Watch where this starts and ends. Remember, that pitch before was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Paints the outside corner, starts in that plane, and then bottom drops. Perfect view of that splitter. There's not going to be a lot of rotation of those seams. Straight down.
2 quick outs for Spencer Torkelson now. Recall it was Torkelson that got a hold of Ohtani's first slider of the day and took it all the way to the wall and left before Taylor Ward could crash into the fence and haul it in.
Impressive what he's been doing with his 4-seam fastball. You always think of 4-seamers upstairs, but he's been able to hit the lower quadrant into the strike zone with that pitch.
1-1. Wave and a miss at another sweeper.
Now that was a great one. All set up because he had a good feel. Glove side fastball followed with that sweeper just off the edge. I go right back to that one again.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just a little bit further off the corner.
I'll look in a fastball inside up. Elevated fastball up.
Name that tune.
And you're right. I mean, you'd think you pitched in the big leagues for 16 years.
No!
Ohtani. Now, Lorenzen was really looking forward to this start today, possibly his last in a Tigers uniform. Went over to the Angels weight room immediately when the guys got here the other day to say hi when they arrived. Spent nearly 30 minutes in the outfield catching up with his starters that he was on the team with last year. He said, I respect all those guys. It's going to be like a friendly competition type of thing. And honestly, playing the Angels and possibly his last start as a Tiger has really helped him because he's thinking more about getting his friends out. He's not thinking about possibly it being his last start in Detroit. It's been good because he's focusing on, I got to beat these guys. I got to figure it out. So a lot of friendly competition coming from Michael Lorenzen today.
Yeah, Erica, and so far the friendly competition going the way of the Angels to the tune of a 3-0 lead against their former teammate. Andrew Velazquez leads things off in the 5th. I remember when that photo was out last year of those guys on the beach. Can you imagine you're just tripping along the beach somewhere, you see that group?
Yeah.
How do you not stop them for a selfie? You have to. As annoying as it may have been, you have to stop them. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Velazquez. And a full count now.
Yeah, his teammates just loved him. His game prep, his work in between starts, a lot of the younger pitchers just followed him around in his routines. He did.
Still a full count. Remember an article that Jeff Fletcher had written for the OC Register last year talking about Lorenzen's time with the Reds. And it's certainly ironic that he matches up with Shohei Ohtani today as he loses Velazquez on ball 4. And this from Fletcher's article last year. It was the fall of 2017, and the Reds had asked Lorenzen to record a video as a part of their campaign to recruit Shohei Ohtani, around whom there was conversation. Minnesota, Seattle, the Angels, the Reds, of course the Yankees and Mets involved in those discussions. First offering to Luis Rengifo's in for a strike. And the Reds wanted Lorenzen on the video to explain how the Reds had allowed him to be a two-way player. And then Michael had a moment where he said, wait a minute. You guys told me that was impossible. You guys told me that I wasn't able to be a two-way player. Well, they ended up allowing him to do it, of course. And Michael spent 2018 and 19 as a pitcher and an outfielder. But he at the time thought it was ironic that the team, reluctant to allowing him to do it, wanted to use him as a recruiting tool for Shohei.
I mean, he made some nice plays out in the outfield too, and he's got good power at the plate. That's a huge jump.
When that huge jump is spoiled off on the foul ball, yeah, Velazquez had an enormous jump that time.
Yeah, 9 stolen bases, only been caught once.
When Michael Lorenzen was a high schooler in Fullerton at Fullerton Union, his great arm was recognized, but he didn't want to pitch because he wanted to be drafted as an outfielder. Thought he had a better chance that way, and picked off at first is Velazquez. Andrew was completely frozen there. After a huge jump on the last pitch, Lorenzen gets him.
It's his second career pickoff for Lorenzen. Good footwork. Good athlete. Not only the footwork, he shortened up his throwing motion. That's what you want to try to do as a right-handed pitcher, shorten up that motion. That's a big out for Lorenzen as his pitch count gets higher and higher now to bullpen up.
And he strikes out Rengifo on the very next pitch. So from a leadoff hitter aboard with nobody out to 2 gone, bases empty. Hey, a little bit more on Michael Lorenzen as a two-way player, even something that Shohei Ohtani has not accomplished yet. First player since Ruth to earn a win, homer, and play a position in the same night. And here is Ohtani now with 2 gone to the bases empty.
You think he messed around with Shohei on that and said, hey, I did something you never did when they were teammates last year? Shohei just looked like, I do a lot of things really well. Not a lot of things.
Ohtani with a high drive into the opposite corner. Baddoo is back at the track. This one won't have enough, and the Angels are retired in the 5th. And look how economical he's been, only 46 pitches. Let's remind you of the punch outs.
Yeah, 3 with his 4-seam fastball. Just like we talked about at the beginning. That sweeper's been solid, in 1 with a nasty splitter. 3 of them in zone, 3 chases out of zone for Shohei of his 6 strikeouts today.
Back in 2018, Ohtani went into the 7th inning in a perfect game bid against Oakland. That was 6 1/3 of perfect baseball. Longest no-hit bid went into the 8th inning, and that was last year at the end of the season against Oakland, 7 2/3. 4 perfect innings to start this afternoon as he gets Kerry Carpenter to begin the bottom of the 5th. Carpenter, Vierling, and Baez, 4, 5, 6 for the Tigers.
Again, Shohei, the creative one, is mixing it up. He threw a lot of first pitch fastballs the first time through. Now starting to use all his pitches as first pitch sweeper.
As that low pitch count would indicate, there haven't even really been any deep counts by the Tigers, and that one's floated foul. 0-2 to Kerry Carpenter.
It's an elevated splitter now. One thing about Shohei, when he makes a pitch and he didn't feel he threw it right, he usually goes right back to it again and makes a quick adjustment. Although he has thrown a couple off-speed pitches, so he might run that 99, but I feel that splitter again, maybe he'll go back to.
0-2 to Carpenter. It's a fastball that's lined out to center field. The Tigers' first hit, their first base runner of the afternoon.
And he stayed on a fastball, was down, went right back up the middle on it. Wallach wanted it elevated, kind of ran and got a lot of the plate, and you see the reaction by Chad Wallach too. He wanted that fastball up. I think part of the reason why is a left-handed batter, especially when you see that splitter was down, or even a breaker ball in there, you feel that he's got those eyes trained lower third.
Matt Vierling now. And Ohtani's first pitch with a base runner aboard is in for a strike. I love Chad's reaction there. He knows that, you know, Shohei's in the midst of potentially something pretty special today, even though it's early, 4 innings. He probably also knows how good Shohei's stuff is today because he's 60 feet 6 inches away from it. There's your double play ball. Moose to Rengifo, back to Cabbage. They get them both.
That's 13 double plays turning behind Shohei Ohtani this season. That's easily a career high. Went with a cutter this time, the edge of the plate, down. You're only going to hit that ball on the ground and right at Moustakas. A quick feed over to Rengifo. 5-4-3 double play.
You know, I'd be interesting, and I'm going to say this aloud for our great production team to possibly dig in on as Javi Baez steps up now. There's a you know, StatCast and the folks that kind of come up with the vernacular for our sport. They're always cooking up new things, right? The sweeper was new this year. There's something that they're referring to as a shadow ball. shadow strike this year. And those are pitches that are one baseball in and or out of the strike zone, right? So if you take the strike zone, the box, and you put a frame around it with baseballs, like that's the shadow zone. I would imagine that Shohei has thrown a ton of shadow pitches this afternoon. I mean, I think the only fat strike that he threw was that fastball to Carpenter that was lined into center field. Everything's been on the edges today.
And that's what makes him so special, because even though a lot of his pitches are high velocity, high spin, they're still on the edges or the shadows of the plate.
Man, Baez does not have a chance at that sweeper. That has been a very tough pitch for him today. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he had one shot at that sweeper the first pitch because it was upstairs and he fouled it back, but now the quick adjustment for Shohei.
Now he's going to throw one a foot outside. Outside just enough to get him to pop up on it. Wallach has it. Nothing comes to the leadoff single. Through 5, 3-0 Angels. More must-see TV coming up later on this afternoon.
Yes, Sandoval, really good career numbers, 2-0 at a 1.83 against the Tigers.
Mickey Moniak leads things off in the Angels half of the 6th against a new pitcher on the mound for the Tigers. Gone after 5 is starter Michael Lorenzen. He yields for left-hander Zach Logue, whose 0-1 pitch is hooked into the corner in right field. That's going to bounce around a while. Mickey on his way into second with a leadoff double.
The hit streak continues now for Moniak. Tell you what, if you're a golfer, that's a perfect swing. You land that on, it's a U.S. Open. You have to have a nice little shot in there. That landed very nice in the outfield and checked up for a double there for Moniak.
Checks up. You take your little green repair tool out. Yeah.
Went down against a lefty, which is important for Moniak. Went down there and got that pitch. That's amazing there. That's good. That's a good little swing there.
Leadoff hitter in scoring position now for Taylor Ward. Gooby mentioned the hitting streak for Mickey up to 15 or 16 rather. 16 in counting. Personal best. One of the longest by an Angel in the last 10 years and the longest active hitting streak in baseball.
Starting to get a few more at bats against lefties and very, very productive.
Taylor Ward in focus for our Kia player profile, talking about making the most of opportunities and driving in runs. Since the break, only Houston's Kyle Tucker with more runs batted in. Here's a couple more. Get going, and gone.
Wait, it's passed on by Tucker with that 2-run home run. Taylor Ward.
Type up a new graphic.
Yes. That's the 13th. He has been crushing the baseball in July. Talk about a baseball getting out quick. That was a changeup. What did we talk about? First game here against the Tigers, how good he is against changeup. Another home run and well-hit baseball versus changeup. Kabuto time. Taylor Ward.
Number 13 for Taylor. RBIs 44 and 45. 5-0 Angels.
3-4 hitters wanted to be involved in this game after this part of the order has been dominant.
That's right. Hey, look how fast they got it done.
Yeah, we thought you were good, Kyle Tucker, but not anymore. Taylor Ward just passed you by. By the way, he's an incredible player. Tucker, wow. With the Astros getting everyone back healthy, but they lost yesterday big time. That was an interesting game, too, against the Rangers last night.
Man, and the salad has not moved for Taylor.
Never does.
Moustakas is jammed. There's a little bouncer out to Zach Short. Let's go back to the home run, then we're going to go back to the hair, which is still coiffed perfectly.
Change up down, brought his hands in. He was able to get that lift to it. Launch angle, lift that one out. Taylor Ward going 376 feet, exit velocity of 103.6.
Hunter Renfroe has a couple of doubles today. And sliders in for a strike. 5 runs on 7 hits for the Angels. 4 of those 7 hits good for extra bases. Tough play for McKinstry, who had to back up on it. Look at the hose on the third baseman. Man alive, was that a throw?
You got to allow me, especially when you go to that outfield grass and have that much on a long throw like that. All the way back to the outfield grass and still plants and makes a good firm throw to the first.
Okay, we see you. It's a nice play. Here's Trey Cabbage now. 3 of the 5 runs batted in belong to the Angels' first baseman so far today. Takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. You wake up to the news that Lucas Giolito is coming to the Angels. You turn on the TV, doubleheader today. 5-0 Halos in the opener. Shohei Ohtani on the mound. All things appear to be very healthy in Halo land.
It's the energy. We saw it in the dugout earlier today.
Cabbage swings and misses. Not before the damage is done. Taylor Ward's 13th of the year makes it a 5-0 Angels lead. And that was Kerry Carpenter, who opened the 5th with a base hit. He would quickly be erased on a double play ball. So Ohtani threw the minimum through 5 as he gets the bottom third of the Tigers order here in the 6th inning. Akil Baddoo, Zach Short, and Eric Haas.
And a good spot for that first pitch sweeper there on the edge again. Great swing by Taylor Ward between Rengifo and Taylor Ward, picking up that slack with Trout not in this lineup here. Getting close. Those two have been outstanding.
Baddoo pops it up into center field for Moniak. We'll call this our Aerosmith departure, living on the edge. A lot of it on the edges. We talked about the shadow pitches, those that are within one baseball, in or out of the strike zone.
That is amazing. These are all on that spot, like you were just talking about, Matt. Avoiding that heart of the plate.
One gone for Zach Short. Steven Tyler's big in Japan. Big internationally.
Everywhere.
Living on
yeah.
the edge.
Yes.
Short's hitless in the series, 0 for 3.
That's on the edge again.
We were wondering, you and I were talking about this before the game. Derek Thomas, first-year umpire. This is only his 8th game behind home plate in the big leagues, and we were wondering what we were going to get, right? You wonder about that for any starter with a younger umpire.
Yep.
He has been very consistent with balls in the edges.
Yes.
In the gray today.
But you know, you're caught up and you're umping the game with Shohei Ohtani's on the mound, but you also know that you're being graded on how good you are as far as calling balls and strikes, and so far he's been really, really solid.
2 balls and 2 strikes. He's not wearing any sunglasses either, and he does not have the tinted, like Rick Moranis dark helmet mask on. You can see his eyes. And there's a lot of glare today. He's done a nice job. 3-2 pitch misses inside. He's the second base runner for the Tigers today. As we take a moment to bring you a quick word from Hyundai.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty.
1 out, 1 on for the number 9 hitter Eric Haas, who was rung up on strikes back in the 3rd. There was so much talk about Ohtani and a potential offensive triple crown. He's got a lot of names to get over in the race for the batting title. Yandy Diaz open play batting .319 on this day. It seems pretty clear that Shohei will win a franchise pitching triple crown. For Moustakas on a tough hop to Rengifo, back to Cabbage. Wow. A brilliantly turned 5-4-3 double play.
I love Shohei. He's waiting around to give a high five there to Mike Moustakas. That was a tough play in between hops. 5-4-3 second double play turned. Outstanding. I like it.
All Angels this afternoon as we hit the 7th in our first of 2 at Comerica Park. 5-0 Halos. Chad Wallach leads things off in the 7th. Wallach, Velasquez, and Rengifo. Phil Nevin promising some lineup changes for the nightcap, including the return of Zach Neto, who was hoping to be available and out there on Tuesday for the opener. But after some pregame work, they decided to keep Zach seated for a little while longer. He will start at shortstop and be out there for game 2 still to come.
Yeah, so valuable of a player, both in the field and at the plate and on the bases. You know what, this is filled into a pretty good crowd after all this afternoon.
2 balls and a strike pitch to Zach Logan. There's a base hit for Chad Wallach.
I love this reaction running down the line. You know everybody in the dugout's going, yes. You know they're saying, save the baseball, throw it in.
Oh, that's got to feel like the weight of the world is off Chad's shoulders. The 0 for 36
he's looking
is a thing of the past.
Oh, he's so well liked by his teammates. They were all going, yes.
Andrew Velasquez shows bunt and lays off a ball and a strike to, or a ball and no strikes rather, to Andrew, who has walked today. Velasquez had a 3-hit opener on Tuesday night. 5 runs on 8 hits now for the Angels. To 2-0. Since the start of last year, the Angels and Tigers have had 7 head-to-head matchups. 5 of those 7 games after Tuesday's opener have been decided by just a run.
Yep.
So this one's unusual.
But that's why you just keep adding on here to make sure that's never a possibility. And Shohei right now has thrown 66 pitches through 6 innings. My math is correct on that. It's 11 pitches per inning for Shohei. Outstanding so far.
2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Velasquez. Ohtani's pitch count is so reasonable this afternoon. It's pretty easy to see a pathway to 7, even 8 innings on the mound.
Yeah, especially with a doubleheader. You will be able to add that extra player in a doubleheader, that 27-man roster.
Fly ball out to right center field. That Green runs down. Well, you never take a big lead for granted, especially when the Angels and Tigers play one another. Flashing back to the Angels' heroics of a couple of years ago, one of the biggest comebacks in franchise history here at Tiger Stadium. An afternoon where you and I were Mike's side, Gooby,
yes.
And we thought that it wasn't even worth playing the last few innings of the game. The Angels came out of nowhere, and a big snatch 'em back occurred on that day.
How great was that to see that smile from Max Stassi there too in that game.
Angels down by 8 runs in the middle of the game, down 10-2, seemingly finished, and ended up with a 13-10 win that day here.
Just checking to make sure that baseball didn't hit Rengifo, and it didn't.
Two balls and no strikes, the count from Zach Logue. Logue almost has a left-handed Max Scherzer-ish delivery. Oh, Rengifo gets a hold of one. That hit well to left. Baddoo is back. It's off the base of the fence. Wallach on his way to third. Rengifo to second, and once again the Angels are in business.
And again, the two guys that really have jumped out there in the month of July. Rengifo war big again today. Well, that's just right upstairs, and there's a 4-seam fastball, 91, perfect hitting speed for Luis Rengifo, and just missed his 10th home run of the season, giving him now 7 doubles. Shohei an opportunity to help himself out here to get one or both home.
Ohtani looking for his first hit of the series, 0 for 6 with a couple of walks. Second and third with only one gone, a swing and a miss. We've talked at various points today about Shohei's triple crown type pursuit and the fact that it appears that the batting title is way far away from him, right? With Yandy Diaz hitting .315 at the start of play. If Shohei Ohtani had 6 more hits, 6 hits, he'd lead the American League in batting average. That's what the math boils down to. Behind 0-2.
Ooh, that's a good take. That's a real tough take. And usually when you see a pitch like that, you would think he's going to go slider now.
Mickey Moniak on deck, a ball and 2 strikes to Ohtani, batting with second and third and 1 away, and he waves at a slider and struck out. 2 gone. Time for a quick word from Jack in the box.
Yo, Jack, that a baked brownie in my munchie meal?
You know it, Snoop.
Say less.
And so far in this game for Shohei Ohtani, Matty, I think, even though we know those numbers when he's swinging the bat on daisy pitches, I think the concentration level on the pitching aspect of this game is what he's all focused on right now. Yeah, you love to be able to get those runners in. Yeah, you like to be able to, that last at bat he just missed one, but he's all focused on the pitching end today. This is the way I feel, the way he's going about his business, how efficient he has been.
Yeah, I certainly buy that, especially with a 5-0 lead, right? I mean, the numbers indicate that that's been his focus.
And of course, in game 2, when he's DHing, he'll be focusing on see how far he can hit a baseball. That's the thing, it's still amazing. He's pitching in game 1, he'll be DHing in game 2.
It's ridiculous, actually. Moniak waves and misses to strike out. In and out of trouble is Zach Logue in the 7th. And he'll get the top of the order. McKinstry, Green, and Torkelson up by 5. McKinstry 0 for 2 in this one, 1 for 7 with 4 strikeouts in the series. Ohtani started in with a slider, comes back with a fastball that misses upstairs, a ball and a strike.
Still firm on his fastball at 98. Can't see last time hit a ball pretty well to Taylor Ward out and left.
2 balls and a strike. There's only been one Angel starter to complete 9 innings, having faced the minimum. And that was when Mike Witt threw his perfect game in 1984.
Just one? That's amazing.
Just one. Witt would win a pitching triple crown for the Angels in each of the 2 following years, 85 and 86. And he stands as one of only 3 pitchers to claim that. High and deep to right, but hooked foul.
That was a cutter.
How about a quick word from Kia? Two balls and 2 strikes to Zach McKinstry. 2-2 pitch. Sharply hit to second. Rengifo to his right for out number 1.
That was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. 100. Very efficient pitch count, allow Shohei to have that life still in the 7th inning at 100.
Here's Riley Green now. So there have only been 3 pitchers in franchise history to win the pitching triple crown, the team triple crown, in consecutive seasons. That is to lead the Angels in wins, strikeouts, and ERA. And Shohei's going to get a 1-pitch out on Green for out number 2.
Shohei almost got over there too fast. He hasn't been on the bases today.
I feel like Shohei smells the finish line this afternoon.
Yes.
He's just over 70 pitches with 2 out in the 7th.
I don't think Shohei's ever had a CG yet either in his career.
2 gone, bases empty now for Spencer Torkelson. Nolan Ryan won 3 straight team pitching triple crowns. We mentioned Mike Witt did it in 85 and 86, and Chuck Finley did it in 98 and 99. That is a pitching triple crown for the franchise in consecutive years. First pitch to Spencer Torkelson, misses off the plate.
Even when he's missed today, Shohei hasn't missed by a whole lot. He has been under control. His balance has been great.
Those shadow balls all around the strike zone. Could I be so bold as to suggest the next time you're on the air with a key to the game song
with Shadow in there?
Give me a little Andy Gibbs shadow dancing. Come on, you and I are old guys. We remember how hot he was. 3 balls and no strikes to Torkelson. And we will lose every viewer under the age of 50, but it's just a moment. Maybe they can YouTube it. Stuff was great. And there's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to the Tigers' first baseman. Once again, saved by a promo. Join your Angels for Family Sunday every Sunday. And that's home games through August 20th. Visit the Gate 5 courtyard for fun activities. Stay after for Kids Run the Bases. For a full list of Family Sundays presented by Yakult Probiotic Drink, visit angels.com/promotions.
I think that was a real good visit for Chad Wallach. When you have Shohei, he's been in cruise control, 4 straight out of the zone, the last 3 out by quite a bit. You just want him to go back out there and to say, listen, everything is great. Trust me. We got a good game plan going behind the plate, and you on the mound. Let's go right back to it.
2-out walk has Torkelson aboard now for Kerry Carpenter, who has the only Tigers hit of the afternoon.
And that was a fastball that was down middle. He went back up the middle with it. He went right back to that same pitch. He goes, you know what? I'm going to see if you can hit it again.
I mean, feeling pretty good, up 5-zip.
Yep.
Stuff's been crisp tonight. Why not? Second of a 9-game trip. And without overstating it, potentially a season-defining trip. Because after this doubleheader is complete, 3 against a very tough Toronto Blue Jays team up in Rogers Center. And then down to Dixie for 3 against the Atlanta Braves. 0-2 to Carpenter. A wave and a miss. Strikeout number 7 for Ohtani this afternoon. After game 1 is in the books, and so far so good in a 5-0 lead. Taylor Ward's been a part of it. A 2-run home run in the top of the 6th inning. He leads things off in the 8th against Zach Logue, who continues for a 3rd inning of relief. It'll be Ward, Moustakas, and Renfroe for the Angels. Matt Manning and Patrick Sandoval in game 2.
Manning's a guy that gets a lot of ground balls himself.
Interesting kind of dynamic with Sandoval going in game 2, because Ohtani is on a pace for this kind of start. Games that are referred to as a Maddox, quote unquote, to celebrate the great Hall of Famer Greg Maddox. Ward with the ball out to right field, well hit. Veerling back on this one, and that one's gone.
Wow, homer to left, homer to right center. It's a 14th home run. He has continued his hot streak. Taylor Ward. 2
at-bats against Zach Logue. A homer to left, a homer to right. And a 6-0 Angels lead.
And you're right, still perfect hair for Taylor Ward.
Here's Mike Moustakas now.
And this is a perfect swing. You know, a lot of times when you hit one out the left field, it's a mistake. But he went inside out, upstairs with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Didn't try to pull it. Was out over the plate, and he crushed it out the right center.
0-2 the count to Moose. Yeah, thank you for the funky corner out there in the outfield. Taking advantage of the dimensions. Taylor Ward loving the trip to Motown. Moose yanks that one foul.
Four, 5, and 6 doing some serious damage.
Boy, to hit 2 homers in the first end of a doubleheader gets you to dreaming as a fan.
Yes.
What could be, right? He's going to have another 5-ish plate appearances on this day.
And all of a sudden, you envision yourself potentially having 20 home runs on the season if you continue on this pace he's at right now. Just keep going.
When you and I were on the air in Denver for that record-setting day when the Angels set franchise records for runs and hits, we were talking about that day in the 80s. I think it was 83 or 84 as Moose is caught looking and he knew it. When Don Baylor had a big doubleheader.
Yes.
Get you to thinking about franchise records for damage in a doubleheader, because Taylor's on his way to a very fine day. One gone now for Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe has also had a great opener. 2 doubles. He has scored a run. I would imagine there'd be a temptation as well when you homer in the first game twice. You want to go into the clubhouse in the 40 or so minutes you're going to have between games, eat the same thing, not sit down.
Yeah, you know baseball players aren't superstitious at all. That's the one thing. There's no superstitious baseball players.
Who was the worst you ever played with? Or best, I'll say. Let's say it affectionately.
You know, everyone I've ever seen, everyone has their same routine. If they're going well, and I've seen guys when they're struggling, all of a sudden everything in their locker is thrown in the trash, and they go all brand new. But if you're going one of those hot streaks, you're wearing the same socks, the same underwear, same T-shirts. Everybody will keep that going.
That's lined back up the middle, and another base hit for Hunter Renfroe, who really stayed on that breaking ball nicely. One out single gives us a chance to bring you a quick word from Land Rover.
Well, that's another guy you can't wait to get going in the rest of this game, and then that second game of doubleheader. Now, when you're seeing the baseball, I guess you want to just keep swinging the bat. Hunter Renfroe is crushing it.
There's Trey Cabbage with the man on. A run in, 1 away here in the 8th. 6-0 Angels.
Angels now with 157 home runs.
And AL leading 157 home runs. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, I get the superstitions and all, but as a teammate, a parent, a spouse, a concerned onlooker, I would have to stop you with same underwear. that's where it ends for me. That's out to left, and Badu can't get to it. I mean, even if you flip it around, still no bueno.
Oh, believe me, this happened. Same T-shirts, rock and roll T-shirts underneath every time I would pitch a game, the same ones. Now, they might have been washed, but they were the same ones in the same order of the game every time. Every time. Start off with, we mentioned Aerosmith. That was always my first one.
Slider has Cabbage swing and miss, and it's 2-2. Yeah, that's tough when the equipment guys, when the clubhouse staff, they have to start packing your stuff in separate containers.
Because it might just end up walking on its way up to the next city. Yes.
Chad Wallach waiting on deck. A run in, one away, a man on here in a 6-0 lead, top of the 8th, and the 2-2 home. Cabbage tried to check it but went around, and that's out number 2.
Got quickly. Chad Wallach got back up to that batter's box after getting that hit that last at bat. He's been outstanding behind the plate working with Shohei Ohtani today.
Both bullpens are quiet at this point. Zach Logan's been out there since the 6th, and there is nothing to indicate that Shohei Ohtani's not going to continue for an 8th inning, maybe even deeper than that today. Again, he has been as efficient as possible. Bouncer, convenient hop for McKinstry. He's already shown off the big arm this afternoon and has Wallach by a step. One more in the Angel 8th, 6-0 Angels.
7 strikeouts and 7 shutout innings. It's 80 pitches thrown for Shohei Ohtani.
Fastball usage has been exactly what we thought it would be today. It's been his highest fastball usage by percentage in any start that he's had this year. And Ohtani back to work in the 8th for Matt Vierling, Javi Baez, and Akil Baddoo. As soon as he gets his first out here in the 8th, this will become his longest start by innings this year. Previously, Shohei had gone 7 on 5 occasions. And in all but 2 of those previous starts, he had exceeded the 100 pitch count. Still super manageable today, as we've mentioned throughout the telecast. That was just his 83rd pitch of the day.
And still firm, 96, just a little below the strike zone.
Just 2 walks and a hit, the only base runners today against Ohtani.
Boy, that is paint right on the outside corner.
More shadow dancing.
You know, I'm going up another Shadow song. I'm going Shadow Dreams with DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. How about that one?
A little more contemporary than my suggestion. You're playing to the kids, I understand. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Vierling. Looking for a chase there, and it's 3-2.
He's overthrew that one. That's one of the few times today where he muscled up on his fastball and pulled that front shoulder open too quickly.
Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter here in the home 8th. Out of the stretches, Shohei is usually the 3-2 home, and he loses him on ball 4. Reminder, enjoy amazing moments for your Halos from the comfort of a suite at the Big A. Entertain guests with all-inclusive packages. Call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/suites.
And it's a little bit of movement now in the bullpen. Now that's 3 walks for Shohei today, all in the last 3 innings, though.
Javi Baez 0 for 2 today. And 0-1 to Baez. A steady diet of sweepers to a Tiger hitter that's been known to expand his strike zone. The strikeout rate is down a little bit for Baez, but the swing rate, the chase rate is still a lot higher than where the Tigers coaching staff would like to see it. 46% chase rate, the highest in all of baseball. Off the end of the bat, little cue shot for Rengifo. He'll have only 1 play. That's to first. Vierling advances on out number 1.
This is a smart play by Rengifo. You're trying to get outs deeper in the ball game, and you have no chance to be able to get that force out at second. Just take that out at first base.
Runner at second now for Akil Baddoo. This is the first runner in scoring position for the Tigers all afternoon, and we're in the bottom of the 8th. Zach Short waits on deck. Such positive momentum, especially when you consider the way the Angels got into the All-Star break, losing 9 out of 10. Coming out of the break, big win here on Tuesday. If they hang on today, this will be 8 victories in 11 games since the Midsummer Classic. Worth reminding you of the American League wildcard standings. Angels started play 4 games back. Very limited schedule across Major League Baseball today. Only 3 other games outside this doubleheader in Detroit.
And none, let's see, none involving anyone else in that wild card race. So a chance to be able to, if you have a really good doubleheader, you pick up a game, 2 wins.
Go to bed 3 back on the way up to Toronto. 3 balls and a strike to Baddoo. And a full count now.
Here's Shohei just grunting there, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, 3-1.
It's also nice to have some breathing room in the first game of the doubleheader, right? 10 games out of the break, 4 of them had been decided by 1 run for the Angels. Full count to Akil Baddoo. The 3-2 home is again fouled off.
As usual, Shohei Ohtani stepping up that game with a runner in scoring position. That one at 99. 95th pitch of the afternoon for Ohtani.
See if he comes back with another fastball on 3 balls and 2 strikes. He does, and it's hit to Moustakas, who makes another very good play. Throw to first in time to get a speedy base runner.
And you know Shohei's going to show the appreciation right there for Moustakas. That was another tough play. See him turning around right there to Moose, say nice play. Left-handed bat, so it's going to go away from you, able to get the footing and a strong throw to first base to get that second out.
So runner stays at second base with 2 out now for the second baseman Zach Short, who was flied to center and walked. Ohtani's longest of the year, trying to finish 8 here. And the first pitch home to the Tigers' second baseman is popped up. Moustakas yields to Velasquez. Nothing comes of the leadoff walk. 8 shutout innings for Shohei Ohtani in Detroit. To the top of the 9th inning in a 6-0 Angels lead. Our first of 2 at Comerica Park today. And first ball swinging is Andrew Velasquez, who fouls out for Torkelson. And there's 1 gone here in the 9th. If you're just helicoptering into the telecast, glad to have you with us. It has been all Angels today. And it started out with, once again, Mike Moustakas delivering the first RBIs of the contest, as he did in the 7-6 extra innings win on Tuesday. Couple of home runs for Taylor Ward. A terrific start by Shohei Ohtani, and it's getting harder and harder to hold back the smiles today.
Yes, no doubt. Hunter Renfroe, 3 hits, 2 doubles. Shohei Ohtani through 8 shut innings, is 1 hit allowed.
Most interestingly, as Luis Rengifo lays off a pitch up around his neck, there is nobody up in the Angel bullpen. Shohei Ohtani with 97 pitches and counting, and it looks like he'll be given the opportunity at least to finish what he started. in the air and drifting foul. Something about this ballpark, and we know that this is a pitching first facility, right? Offensive numbers have been repressed here since it opened, since the 2000 season, even though they've changed the outfield dimensions. The Angels' last complete game by a starter was here last summer. Patrick Sandoval will start in about an hour for game 2 of this doubleheader. Rengifo sends a bouncer out to Baez, and there are 2 away.
You know, last time Shohei went 8 innings here, remember he had a home run in the 8th inning. And going back to our Hyundai Key for the game today, right on cue, nothing compares to you, Shohei Ohtani. Just 1 hit allowed in 8 shutout innings. Incredible, Shohei Ohtani. Nothing compares to you.
And here is Ohtani for a 5th time at the plate. On the first pitch, a bouncer out to second, but you know, per your earlier thought, it's the other side of the scorecard that's more important for Shohei
indeed.
today, and he's going to have a chance for a CG when we come back. 1 hit today, 3 walks. He has struck out 7, and he'll work the bottom of the 9th to the number 9 batter Eric Haas, and then the top of the order McKinstry and Green.
And Shohei with 10 ground ball outs today go along with his 7 strikeouts.
Fastball usage has been exactly what we would have expected today, just over 55%, his highest fastball usage in any of his 20 starts this year, coming right after the weakness of the Tigers lineup and giving the Angels a really good opportunity to dream realistically about sweeping a series here.
And when you go back to Shohei, this season his fastball percentage is up. He's at 38% coming in this game. Last season he was at 31% fastball usage.
So here we go. Still under 100 pitches. And ready to go to work to try to finish what he started.
I still think of that Van Halen song there. Finish what you started.
Nice. Surprised you went Sinead O'Connor here in Detroit, though. I thought you'd take the bait and go Motown. It's okay.
Wait, there is a game too.
Right. A nice tribute to Sinead O'Connor, though. I like the idea. Oh, 0-1 the count to Eric Haas. Off the fist, a little pop for Rengifo, and Shohei is 2 outs away from his first career shutout.
Boy, runs it in on Haas. A running 97-mile-an-hour fastball into the 9th inning.
Zach McKinstry 0 for 3 so far in this one, 1 for 8 in the series. First pitch fastball in for a strike. You know, without sounding sappy here, it's easy to think about the big picture. Think about the last 24 hours for the Angels.
Yes.
Acquire Lucas Giolito. Put all the Ohtani trade rumors to bed. Shohei comes out hours after the trade's announced. He's 2 outs away from a complete game shutout. You're about to pick up a half game in the wild card race, and you got Sandoval lined up for game 2 of this. I know we get hyper reactive to the immediacy of baseball because there's a chance every night to feel better or worse because of the frequency of the schedule, but boy, it's a very rosy outlook at this point. 0-2 the count to McKinstry. Breaking ball squirted out of his hands that time. A ball and 2 strikes.
And really, there's no better feeling in the world for a starting pitcher than to shake the catcher's hand after the game. Best feeling. See if Shohei can do that.
No need to throw him a strike here. 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The only hit of the afternoon by the Tigers, Kerry Carpenter's leadoff single in the 5th. He'd be quickly erased on one of the 2 double plays turned behind Shohei. And now it's a full count. Riley Green next. He's hitless so far today. And this was a Tiger coming off back-to-back 3-hit performances.
Big pitch here for Shohei because you never know what Phil Nevin will be thinking if he's able to reach here on a pitch out of the zone.
Full count pitch. Got him swinging. 8 for Ohtani this afternoon.
4-seamer at 96. Heart of the plate. A swing and miss in zone for Shohei. 8th the game.
When all else fails, back to the pitch that's been best for him today. The good old country fastball. Riley Green representing the last chance for the Tigers. And I would imagine Shohei's operating on fumes and momentum at this point. Ball and no strikes to the Tigers center fielder. 1-1.
Still has some good stuff working. 96, right at the knees, outside corner.
Two balls and a strike to count to Green. And again, he's going to DH in about 45 minutes.
Yes.
Game 2 will kick off roughly 40 minutes after this one comes to a close, and we feel like that moment's right around the corner. Patrick O'Neill and Bobby Valentine standing by with Angels Live as soon as play-by-play is complete. Breaking ball just missed, and it's 3-1 now.
Yeah, that was just a little bit off the corner. Shohei kind of wanted that sweeper to be called, but it was just a little off.
For a guy who has accomplished so much in his major league career already, this would be the first complete game shutout, and there it is. Shohei Ohtani goes all 9.
And there it is, the chance to shake Chad Wallach's hand. First career complete game shutout for the Unicorn.
The soon-to-be 2-time AL MVP has never been better on a big league mound. It's a no-brainer. Shohei Ohtani, our Toyota player of the game, his first career complete game shutout. Only 1 hit, only 4 base runners, only 1 man as far as second base in the opposing lineup today.
Absolutely remarkable. His smile on his face as he was warming up today, and that smile on his face